Greetings. You have your ticket? Oh, you don't have one, my friend? No problem. Just hit the subscription button below and come on in. Hey guys, DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey, I just wanted to bring something to your attention because it's obvious mainstream media is going to continue to distract us, with propaganda news, bull crap news that has nothing to do with anything that's truly important to you and I. I'm talking about, Robert Mueller interrogation or investigation, the Russian probe, all this other rhetoric that's going on in D.C. to keep us distracted. In other words, that stupid ass soap opera that you have going on in Washington, D.C. between Trump, Pelosi, and the rest of those dumb, stupid idiots, okay? Now, whether you have a political preference with one of those two or not, hey, that's your right. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just telling you, if you just step back one step and just ask yourself, are these guys talking about things that are truly relevant to my situation right now, my future right now? Are these guys saying things that's going to matter to my children? And you'll find real fast that you're being duped into sheer buffoonery. Okay, with that being, you're being duped by sheer buffoonery. Okay, with that being said, let me get into why I decided to do this video this morning. And it's back to something, as you guys already know, that's near and dear to my heart. Human sex trafficking. As you know, guys, that industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry second only to drugs and gun trafficking. And it's a serious situation, and it's right next door to many of you guys, and you don't even realize it. And these people are doing it, and they're getting away with it because mainstream media refuses to cover it, because probably the people who are in power, who are in control, who's narrating what news you hear or don't hear, are probably equally involved in it. No different than Robert Kraft, New England's Patriots owner. You know what I'm saying? Involved in human sex trafficking. I know some of you Robert Kraft fans don't like me saying that, but if you're in a massage parlor where you're supposed to be getting massages and you're in there having sex, then and those people in that place are being held against their will. You're involved in sex trafficking, my friend. And you can say it any kind of other way you want it. You can put any spin you want to put on it. And those idiots who can't seem to open up your mind and think critically for 1 second, you know what, maybe if you have a daughter or son, somebody snatched them off the street and violate them in such an inhumane manner, maybe then you'll come to your senses. You got all these guys who always talk shit about everything until it happens to them. Then all of a sudden, oh God, how could it happen? Woe is me. That's you. I'm talking about you idiots who want to cover for individuals like Robert Kraft and all these other wicked, evil devils who are out here violating, quite frankly, most of these children. And we talked about that in one of my previous videos, 12 and 14 years old. But in this instance, ICE agent and a fire agent, a lieutenant fireman were involved in this situation. And guess what state it happened to be in for you Robert Kraft rabbit, fanboys and girls? It was in Florida, the very place where he was caught involved in this type of behavior. But without further ado, let me read the article to you, because I think it's just that important, and that way you don't have to hear my rhetoric, okay? Well, I don't call it rhetoric, my information, but it could come across that way. I get that, all right? I'm guilty as charged, if you want to call me a rhetorician for being passionate about something that I am extremely passionate about. But here it goes. A Wesley Chapel man and an East Lake firefighter were among those arrested following a human trafficking investigation. Hernando County, Florida, and East Lake, and this was on the 23rd of May, so this is recent. A fire and rescue fighter from Spring Hill, an East Lake fire and rescue fighter from Spring Hill, and an Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer from Wesley Chapel among 9 people arrested following a 2-year human trafficking investigation by the Florida Attorney General Office. Attorney General Ashley Moody, the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, and Florida Department of Law Enforcement began the human trafficking investigation after receiving an anonymous tip about an online ad offering minors for sex. Minors for sex. I want to emphasize the word minors. So since you think that this is just adults that's being caught up in this wickedness, okay? Minors. This human trafficking investigation began with an anonymous tip. A brave individual who saw a child in trouble and reported it to law enforcement, said Moody. Because of that tip and exceptional law enforcement work and legal support from our statewide prosecutors, the victim was rescued and those responsible are behind bars. According to the Hernando County Sheriff, L. Nehemus, on May 16, 2017, his office received information about a man prostituting a mentally challenged girl in her mid-teens from his residence in Brooksville. A mentally challenged girl. Now, you still think all you people who want to pretend like this is not, do you still have your defiant mentality in regards to this? Now, not only are we talking about children, but now we're even talking about mentally ill children being taken advantage of. Okay? Let me go on. Investigators identified the child and located several Backpage.com advertisements linked to the phone number. Within 24 hours, authorities conducted an undercover sting operation like the one Robert Kraft got caught in, and to rescue the girl, who is safe and recovering at an undisclosed shelter that specializes in providing trauma care for minor survivors of sex trafficking. Okay? Let me skip down a little bit. On some occasions, the girl stayed overnight with adults, but other men would come to the home that the girl shared with the trafficker to engage in sex for money. With the minor's assistance, law enforcement were able to identify and locate repeat customers, including the firemen we talked about, the ICE agent that we talked about, okay? And then it goes on to say that the ICE agent was charged with human trafficking involving a mentally deficient minor, conspiracy to commit human trafficking, use of a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony and lewd and lascivious battery. A bond hearing for that agent took place Thursday in Hernando County Court. Okay, and then it talks about the arrested was East Lake Fire and Rescue Lieutenant Matthew Christopher Dahl, 38 of Anchor Avenue in Spring Hill. So good, now you know his damn address. Dahl was employed as a part-time as a registered nurse at a Bayfront Health Brookville. So goodness damn gracious. You can't trust the nurses, you can't trust the fire agents, you can't trust the damn ICE agents. Guys, if you're not paying attention to this by now, God, our children are in trouble. I mean, this is our responsibility. If an adult makes a decision to get herself involved, to get himself involved in, some type of sexual, how would I say this? In some type of sexual bartering situation. In other words, they're involved in prostitution voluntarily, or even if they're working with, a sponsor. Some people call them pimps. You follow me? As long as they can get out of town and get going whenever they get ready to go, okay, I don't agree with that. I think y'all yourself to be made a fool of. But when you talk about people who are being enslaved, kidnapped, taken from all over the world, taken right off the streets right here in this country, right here in your community, people are being hid in safe houses, and not safe houses, but in hidden houses. This house your girl was in, they said it was concrete floors, no furniture in the house, no food in the wall, and it was full of dog feces and rat feces all over the place. And this little girl happened to be, I think she was 14 years old, by the way. And it goes on, and it lists, just for the record, the name of everybody who was involved in this. And I want to just give you your names, okay? Luigi Barlell, 38 of Spring Hill, Joseph Andrew Easton, 24 of Iverness, Brian Joseph Giguere, 36 of Homasa, James William Hancock, 67 of Delray Beach, Sean Christopher Henson, 39 of Newberry, Lawrence Edward Kimball, 70, Kraft was how old? Okay, Ocala, Florida, Jason Michael Rawlinson, 46 of High Springs. The Attorney General Moody's Assistant Statewide Prosecutor Jane Sirius is prosecuting the case. And then it says, here's the thing, I want you to write this number down, guys. If you have any suspicion, or if you feel that there's someone who could very well possibly be involved in human sex trafficking, a victim, this is the number. The hotline number is 1-888-373-7888. One more time, 1-888-373-7888. Guys, again, it's a serious situation out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunately mainstream media is not going to warn you. The journalists and the reporters, I'm sure they're reading from their scripts, but it's so deep and so dark, in this environment that you don't know who's involved. I mean, come on, ICE agent, assistant, part-time nurses, lieutenant, lieutenant in the fire department. These people are your neighbors. These people are all around you. And again, I'm not telling you to be paranoid. I'm telling you to be observant. And where you see it, deal with it. And when you find out about it, do not do like a lot of the New Englanders are doing. I had a guy attack me, talk about Robert Kraft, innocence, and all that bullshit. They have already dropped the damn video. They won't even let them show the video in the court case against Robert Kraft. How can someone be innocent and they don't want to show the video? And I don't hear anything about some foolishness where there are other people who were there for massages. No, this was in the damn room where he was getting his blowjob and every damn thing else. Excuse my expression, ladies. This camera was in the room. Him and 24 other men. It had nothing to do with the other people who were there. But this idiot who trolled me is wanted to tell me that has nothing to do with that. Bullshit. He got off. If it was so damn innocent, why are you not letting them show the damn video and tape if you're so clean, Mr. Kraft? With your wicked, pedophile, detestable ass. And all these other ones, including the ones that I just mentioned. Guys, be vigilant, be watchful. Please look out for your children. Do not assume your child is safe. Boys or girls. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. DFG. Talk to you soon.